Good evening, everyone. You find me back in my bathroom. Sorry about the extractor fan. She's a loud one today. You join me as I do my skincare. I slept over at my sister's house and I had an online training this morning. I didn't do anything for the rest of the afternoon, whereas they obviously worked. But after that, in the evening, we went to go watch Jaja's African Hair Braiding, which is a play that we saw at Lyric Hammersmith, which was really funny, really good. Would highly recommend. I don't know how long it's still on for. I want to say this week is the last week, but thoroughly enjoyed that. Would highly recommend.
Hey, what's up, family? Yo, P squad, PP, stand up. My big peers, all you PPs out there, how you doing?
Who said this was making it in the vlog?
Just making it. The PPs love me. Hey, isn't that right, my peeps?
This week is a very busy week. So tomorrow I am on a night shift. I'm also on a night shift on Wednesday. I come off my night on Thursday and it is Simon's birthday, his 18th. I am working at the London Marathon running show. I will be handing out the t-shirts, which is very exciting. Saturday is my free day. I'm not doing anything on Saturday, and then on Sunday I am back at work. So this week is going to be very busy and I don't think I'm mentally ready for it. But I don't have time to get mentally ready for it either. On top of all of this, we've got tube strikes going on, which means that, first of all, getting to and from work tomorrow means I have to take the bus instead of the tube. However, on Wednesday, it's fine for me to go to and from work, which I guess isn't too bad. But yeah, that is something else that I need to think about. Hey guys, although it's the end of my shift, it's the start of probably the most hectic day in the world. Plan for today: get home, make Simon's birthday cake because it's his 18th birthday today. What the actual hell? I don't know. Shower, get to the London Marathon running show, which is all very exciting. However, it does mean that I'm not sleeping today. So I am going to have a Monster to hopefully keep me up throughout the day. I'm gonna be eating a lot of snacks. So yeah, be prepared for the most hectic day I've had in a while. Rightio, we are back in the house, and like I mentioned earlier, it is time to make Simon's birthday cake. So for his birthday, he has asked for Victoria sponge. Originally, he wanted blackberry jam, which we couldn't find, but we found this bougie blueberry jam instead. So this will be used in the middle. It is actually my first time making a Victoria sponge, so fingers crossed it all goes okay. Because I'm making 2 layers, I did actually buy some cake tins. I'm hoping that they're not too small. We'll just see how it goes. So I hope you enjoy this time lapse of me making Simon's birthday cake. Considering we were supposed to be using blackberry jam, I thought I'd buy us some blackberries to put on top in the shape of an 18. Hey. I have arrived. I have been given my yellow t-shirt as well as this blue zip up. I also have been given my pass and we're just waiting for some instructions. Hello. Beautiful. How are you feeling ahead of the race? I'm sure you'll do absolutely brilliantly. There you go. Congratulations in advance. Good evening, everybody. It is Saturday and you have not seen me since Thursday. So as you saw, I volunteered at the London Marathon running show, handing out the finishers t-shirts, which was really fun. And then I came home and for some reason the family had not had dinner yet. So we had dinner all together, celebrated Simon's birthday, which was really nice. And then I went to bed. For future reference, don't stay up for 32 hours. It's probably not very safe, not very smart, not healthy, and I wouldn't recommend to anyone who has, I don't know why you'd think about staying up for that long, but just don't do it. Like, yeah, that was a big mistake on my behalf. But the worst thing is I didn't even feel that tired in the evening. Like, I felt tired, like I obviously wanted to go to bed, but it wasn't to the point where I was falling asleep at the table or anything. So that was slightly strange, but hopefully we'll not be doing again. I have stayed up for quite a while before. So last time this happened was for Ines' birthday party, funnily enough, always the birthday parties. I basically stayed up, went straight, I think I came back to get changed, then went to hers and helped set up for the party. Obviously was there when everyone arrived, played some games and then went to bed. But yeah, it was kind of the same, probably around 32 to maybe 35 hours that I was up. So once again, don't do it. As a result, both Friday and today have been complete rest days. When I say complete rest days, I have been in my bed pretty much the whole time, and I have been binge watching reels because I've got no self-control and I am addicted to Instagram. I have finished my series, I've been listening to music, just resting in bed, to be honest. But I am going to do my media recap for the week. First off, because I had briefly mentioned it earlier in the week, I finished watching Battle of Fates, which is a Korean show about shamans and tarot readers, and it is so interesting. So the last episode, we actually see them perform a rite, and it's just so interesting to see them like be possessed by the deceased and how they get to speak to their family members through body. It was very, very strange, but very interesting. The family members like feel as if they are talking to that person. They were saying that the mannerisms they were speaking with are like how that person spoke when they were still alive. So it is slightly strange. I'd love to see it right in person. I think that would be so cool. There's also quite a weird situation that happens in the final as well. I'm not going to say in case anyone wants to watch it, but it was strange and I was like, oh, that's a bit too much for me. But yeah, all in all, I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I think it was very, very interesting for something that had obviously seen in passing through Korean dramas, but I'd never actually necessarily thought about it. I was really interested in seeing it whilst I was in Korea, but it just didn't quite fit with the schedule. When I eventually go back to Korea, I definitely want to either get a reading or see a write if that is something that they do publicly. I'd love to do a tarot reading as well. I feel like that would be really interesting. Next up on the list is Beef. Season 2 of Beef came out probably last week. This season I thought would be some sort of a continuation of season 1. However, it was a complete different storyline, brand new characters, and it was very interesting. So this time it was basically set in a country club, mostly focuses on a couple that happens to work at the country club and the, I want to say managers, or the manager of the country club and his wife. And it's once again completely crazy and does make sense in a way. This time it was much more heavily based on skincare and like Korean beauty standards compared to season 1, which was more so focusing on the two characters kind of having beef with each other. So that was very interesting. I think it was obviously great to see BM on the screen on Netflix. So BM is also known as Matthew Kim. He is one of the actors and he plays Whoosh. He's actually a K-pop idol. So I've obviously been listening to his music for quite a while, and he also does a podcast with 3 other people that I really like as well. So seeing him like move on to Netflix was obviously very exciting, and yeah, he's a very good actor. It was a good season. I don't think I'd necessarily recommend it to someone. Like, I enjoyed watching it, but it's not like, oh my god, you have to watch. So I think I'm gonna give it maybe a 3.1 out of 5. And that is everything that I've watched this week. Going on to music. So I have been listening to Cat Burn's set list again because the concert last week was amazing. So it was her one and only Brixton show, and it was one of the venues that she really wanted to sell out, and that was like one of her dreams. So when she came out, she was obviously like bawling her eyes out, barely made it through the first song, but managed to pick back up for the rest of the concert, and it was so good. We happened to be right next to her family, so like I kept looking at them, like seeing them like smiling, singing all the songs, so that was really nice. And I actually saw a TikTok that Alenka and Jonathan were both there. They were like on the other side of the seated, so I obviously didn't see them, but they were there at the same time, which I thought was really cute as well. Of course, Monica and Arirang, nothing new. I also listened to the Dave set list because we were listening to Dave with my sister. We both said, oh, we should just listen to the set list. So I have listened to that this week and thoroughly enjoyed, loved the show, to be honest. I think it was really good. I think he did do most of the songs I wanted. The one song, which is my favourite Dave song, is Voices from Psychodrama. And I knew he was not going to sing it because it's quite like a niche song. But I'd love to see that song live. It's so, so good. I have also been listening to my chill mix. I have also listened to Big Flo et Oli again. I listened to their album Les Autres C'est Nous, which is even better second time round. They are going on tour, I want to say maybe at the end of the year, but they haven't announced a London date. So I'm hoping that they do end up announcing one. But I guess we shall see. I have listened to yet another set list. I've been listening to Aminé's set list, which is once again a great one to kind of get your blood pumping and get you back into energy. That is what I listened on the way back from my second night shift, because I could feel that I was starting to get tired, and considering all the things I had to do to keep awake to be able to go to the running show, Aminé was the man that saved me. And lastly, I listened to Theodore's radio. I mentioned him last week with his albums Imad and Imad La Suite. Yeah, his radio is really good, and obviously it has lots of other French artists that I know and don't know, so that was really fun to listen to as well. That is the end of my media recap for this week. I hope you have enjoyed this vlog, and I shall see you next week.